So welcome to a new episode of the SXA tutorial series. This time we talk about modules. And yeah, let's take a look on what modules actually are. So if you take a look in the documentation, which is quite good about modules, so it definitely makes sense to take a look in it. We've just posted here the link. So what you will find is that SXA modules bundles templates, branches, media library items, renderings, and layouts, and probably a few more things to be installed on-site or tenant level at any certain point in time. So that packages up features as modules, and you can install it to a site or a tenant. And this can be either on site / let's say tenant creation, or also anytime later. So this way you do not have to decide on-site creation if you really need all the modules that are available, either the out-of-the-box ones, or if you have any custom modules created, if you also want to install them right from the start. You always have the chance to do it later, and our advice is usually to not install, especially on a production side, to not install all the modules immediately, because then you have to clean up everything afterwards, and that might be a bit of work. So install what you need and then go further, and if you miss something, install it later. So there are a few benefits of using modules. So the first benefit is that if you create a module, you get a very consistent structure. So by creating a module, the module creates certain folders with a consistent naming that you have chosen in certain areas, as I already named, like templates, branches, renderings, layouts, and so on. And all the items, when you create a clone or when you clone a rendering to create your own rendering, you have to say to which module you want to attach this new rendering. And then all the items created along for this new rendering will be sorted into the folders that were automatically created with the module. So this gives you a very, very consistent structure, just pointing that out again. And there will be no typos like the one is called similar to the other one, which we usually face in some projects. Now, along with that, you also have the structure to package, you also have to have the opportunity to package up the modules and use it even in other environments. So this way you can transfer modules into other SXA installations. And the only thing you need to do is package up, of course, everything that is related to the module. So everything that you find in those module folders that have been created for you. So it's also very easy to package up all the things and find all the things that are related to that module. Another benefit is that you can, if you take it from a deployment point of view, you can separate deployments from activation. What does that mean? So if you see a CI/CD pipeline, you want to remove the manual interactions as much as possible to have it as much as possible automated. Now, if you deploy new functionalities that immediately take effect in a solution, then probably you want to test that manually before, even though you might have created some unit testing or even some regression test or Selenium test for your new features. But if you separate activation from deployment, then you just deploy a feature that doesn't take any effect on your solution. You just deploy the ability to activate a new feature. And with installing a module then to a site, this is the process of activating the feature in a site. And this way, yeah, as I said, you can separate this. You can come closer to the idea of having manual interactions removed as much as possible. And connected to that, our fourth benefit is here to deploy only what you really need in a site. So there might be features that you provide or that are provided that you don't need in all the sites, but you only need it in a few sites. So on the one hand, you keep your sites this way small and as small as possible. So therefore, having less items, having less crowded database, probably also a slightly better performance. And you also help authors in this way with a better user experience because, yeah, they don't see items that they don't need. They can focus basically on what they really need if you just provide them the features that you need to have. So if you want to install a module, as already mentioned, You can do that on-site or tenant creation. So you might have seen that dialog to say, well, if I'm on a site, if I'm creating a new tenant, then I have a list with all these checkboxes, and I can choose which modules I want to install to my tenant. Or if I go for the site installation process, I have to switch to the second tab called modules and then see the list of installable modules. Now, some can be checked, some can be unchecked as default. We will also tell you how this works and how you can define that a little bit later here in this tutorial. Yeah, I also mentioned that you can install it at any time later. So you can do it from two angles. On the one hand, you go to a certain site and go via the scripts option in the context menu, and then you find the add site module script here. So this brings you into a dialog that shows you what modules that are available have not been installed to the site yet. So this way you can deploy or activate and install new items, basically, or new features to your site. Now, the other way around would be that if you have deployed a new feature and you probably want to install that to several sites, you can also directly go to the module itself, and there's also a script available to install that module to certain sites, and you will see what sites haven't got this module yet. So if this is a new module, then probably none of the sites have it, and you can choose which sites you want to install that new module to. So this way you can also, with very few clicks, centrally deploy new features into many sites of your solution. So both ways, I think, give you a good chance to activate new features or install new features to your sites.
Yeah, maybe just to add to your point, Sebastian, that modules in that sense are like a group of shared functionality, right? They all have a similar sort of functionality. So if you look at the dialog windows here, then you see that search, for instance, is a module, while search has multiple components, multiple renderings. So you have search results, you have sorting, the search box, all of that. All of that is grouped into a module. So a module is a group of renderings or a group of components for that matter. So just to make it a bit more clear, because there's a lot of, well, sometimes there's quite some confusion about what is a module, what is a component or a rendering. So a component and a rendering don't really differ that much. Those are more or less being mixed, those terminologies, those terms. But whereas a module is definitely a group of a shared functionality, so a group of of renderings or components.
Yes, and maybe to add again on this one, so at the end, it's a group of items that you want to install somewhere or modify or whatever you need to tweak on your site through that module. We will also see very soon a few of the available scaffolding actions that are or give you the ability to perform changes on your site, adding items, adding renderings, adding whatever you need in your site.